Hi, Dr. Bradshaw here again. We are back for video number 3 of the Detox Kit, the weight loss program that we have here for you. So we got through that first week, day 1 through 7, and what you basically are looking to do and kind of how that lays out. I want to talk a little bit about some things you can use to help you, resources to help make this a little bit easier instead of just kind of walking into the grocery store and being like, okay, I got all the list of things I can't eat. What should I grab? Well, in your kit, in the back, the very back, is a shopping list. So you can go there, and again, it's in your digital guide. If you go to standardprocess.com/purification program, you can download this if you want. But there's 2 sides to it, and basically it goes through all the things you should be shopping for. And you might look at it and be like, I don't like bok choy. I'm not buying that. Okay, great. Don't check that box. Just check all the boxes on here of things that you would like to eat. Like we said, you can't have any grains except for quinoa. So I recommend you pick up some quinoa. If you don't know where it is, they'll help you find it. If you don't know, if they don't have it at your grocery store, you may have to go to a Trader Joe's. You may have to go to a Whole Foods to pick it up. Some sort of like co-op there in your town where you live. Go ahead and pick that up. You're going to need to have at least a little bit of grains. You're going to want to have that. The fruits that you can have, the protein sources you can have. Now, so use that. Let's talk about protein sources again. We kind of touched on it a little bit on that previous video. We're going to hit it a little harder here. So what I told you was, if you are thin like me, you're just detoxing and you're here just to do that part of the program, you need to follow the instructions as far as which lean protein you can eat, but you can have it the whole time, day 1 through day 21. All right? We'll talk about what the rules are. If you're 5 to 25 pounds overweight, this first half of the program, first 10, 11 days, no meat. Then you can reintroduce meat using the rules that are in place in the kit for the second half of the kit, the second half of the program. And then if you're 25 plus pounds overweight, you're just obese, you need to lose weight, and you know it, and you know it for a while. Go ahead and just say, I'm going to be off of meat this whole time. All right? You're just going to do it. 3 weeks. You'll be fine. Between your shake mixes and the amount of food you can eat, you're going to be okay. You're going to make it through. It'll be a good experience for you. So, what are the rules for protein consumption? Well, let's talk about that. So, for those of you who are able to eat this the whole time, you can start on day 1. But let's just say, for example, you are 20 pounds overweight, and you're going to be off of that protein for days 1 through 10. There are recipes in the back as well of this program, and it goes through all the things that you can make, salad dressings you can make, talks about the shake mixes you can make, things you can put in your shakes to make them better, things that you can do with soups. Soups are quite popular, at least during the first 10 days when you can't have meat. A lot of great soups that you can make. There's 3 or 4 of them in here. There's some dips and snacks, things that you can make. You might get hungry and you might want to add something to the shake mix, like kale chips or guacamole kale. Like, there's some really good stuff in here. Zucchini hummus, delicious. Entrees, chilies, sweet potatoes, stuffed peppers, all that stuff. So go through your kit, all right, and go through these pages. There's a lot of good ideas here. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just look through what they have here. So on day 11, if you are adding back in the meat, that's great. There are some recipes back here too, as far as chipotle salmon, spiced Moroccan meatballs, chicken piccata, that sort of thing. But here is the rule for protein. You just don't go back in full willy-nilly and just start knocking back chicken like it's going out of style. That's not how this is going to go. So, if you give me a second here, I will find it. I've lost, there it is. So, you want to have, the rule of thumb is, if you're going to have a protein, it's going to be the size of your palm, all right? No bigger than the size of your palm, and no thicker than the thickness of your hand, all right? So for me, that's the size of piece of chicken I would have if I were going to be eating chicken or pork. You cannot have red meat at all on this cleanse. Red meat is out. So things you can eat are fish, pork, chicken, turkey. I know pork is considered red, but as long as you have like a healthy piece of pork, like a pork chop, you're okay. No bacon, no sausage. All right, so we're not using any processed meat whatsoever. So if you're eating pork, really you're limited to just like a pork chop. That's it. It's basically turkey, chicken, and fish. That's what you can have. So for those of you who have to wait till day 11, you can reintroduce those things. Again, palm size, thickness of your palm as well. That's the rule. In one sitting, okay? And it's recommended that you have no more than 4 servings of that per day, with half of them being fish. So there's a ton of fish options out there. Haddock, cod, salmon, halibut, you name it, tuna. I mean, there's just go on. There's a ton. I don't recommend you eat bottom feeders though. So oysters, clams, crabs, shrimp, mollusks such as scallops. Those are all bottom feeders. Those are generally loaded with toxins. So I'm going to recommend you don't have those. I'm going to recommend also that you cook your fish. So some of you might like sushi. Like, oh, cool, I can just have like raw fish. No, not necessarily, because what we're doing is trying to get rid of toxins, and oftentimes uncooked fish has toxins in it, including parasites. So best to go with cooked fish this whole time. If you're going to be able to eat meat at any point during this cleanse, we recommend that fish be cooked, just like any of the other fish or other proteins that you would be eating. Okay? When you cook your food, especially your proteins, you must broil, bake, roast, or poach. Okay, so you're not going to fry anything, and you're certainly not going to have cured, smoked, or luncheon meats. All that stuff is out. So you can't just go to the store and say, oh, I have some chicken, and you just take a package of like lunch meat chicken. No, I'm not talking about that. We're talking about cooked chicken, chicken breast, fresh chicken, not processed in any way. If it's packaged, if it's wrapped up in plastic, it's out. It has to be cooked. I recommend, for my rule, what I use, and I think it works well, the night before, I cook a big dinner, more than I normally would. And I leave enough at the end of the dinner to use tomorrow for breakfast and for lunch. If that doesn't work for you, that's fine, but at least leave enough for at least one meal for the next day, so that way it makes it easier for you. You already made it. You just need to put it in a BPA-free glass container, right? Or something that's not going to leach plastics into your food. So that's what I recommend. And like I said, if you're obese, you're 25 pounds or more overweight, you're just going to cold turkey, no red meat. All right? So we talked about that. We talked about the shopping list, the recipe list. Those are back there. Some other things that I'm going to recommend. Actually, before we get into that, I almost forgot. So now that we've talked about protein, we want to talk about how your detox plan changes on day 7. So let's go back to, almost forgot. So let me, page, it's 12. 14. Page 14. The blue section down below. The red section is the first week. So we're at day 8. Okay? Day 8, these supplements are going to change. Okay, so up to this point, you've been doing the SP cleanse 7 per meal and the gastrofiber 3 per meal. We're going to change that up. Okay, so we're going to switch, and we're going to go to no SP cleanse at all. We're going to take that off the table. Okay, we're going to put that in the bag, and it's done. If you have any left, it's fine. You probably won't get to the bottom of that bottle before you're done. So on day 8, we're going to continue with the gastrofiber, continue to take those 3 per meal. So that doesn't change, which is why you have 2 boxes, because you will run out at that pace based on how many are in each bottle. All right? So continue. So that's 9 a day of the gastrofiber, and we're going to add in green food. The SP green food is it's whole food concentrates made from buckwheat, Brussels sprouts, kale, barley grass, and alfalfa to promote healthy liver function and to eliminate naturally those toxins that are built up. Oh yeah, and this, it will be coming. So the first week, as far as symptoms, by the way, you can expect to have the hardest part in there during that first week. It's the last 2 weeks that make it much easier, because your body's now really starting to get rid of toxins, and your body's like, oh, this is what we're doing now? Okay, I got this. I remember how to do this. You were probably doing it when you were younger, before your diet went and your health went and your toxin load went. all that stuff, right? Your body knows how to do this. It just hasn't done it for a while. So that first week, it's like, what are you doing to me? And you can have brain fog. You might have some diarrhea. You shouldn't have constipation because the gastrofiber is pushing stuff through. You might have some headaches as you're detoxifying. You might have some sluggishness. You may actually feel kind of fatigued and tired. That's why it's very important while you're doing this to make sure you get proper sleep. Do not burn the candle on both ends with this cleanse. Your liver has to have time to process this stuff, and it's really that first week that it's going on. As it begins to slowly, it's like turning over a car. A lot of you who live in cold areas during the winter, this might be winter time for you right now. You go outside to turn that car on, and that engine's like starting to turn. That's kind of your liver during the first week of this process, and finally it cranks on, and then the engine, give it another couple of minutes, and then that engine, you can just put it in drive and you're ready to go, right? The car's not going to stall because that engine has warmed up. Your liver is literally warming up during that first week. So the second 2 weeks, you're driving off, that liver's kicking and doing what it should be. So the green food is going to help that process along even more so during those last 2 weeks. So that will be 5 of those per meal, twice a day. So we're still taking 9 gastrofibers, and now we're taking 10 green foods, just during 2 of the meals. You're still supposed to eat 3 meals a day or more, but only during 2 of the meals will you take the green food. You'll still take the gastrofiber during 3 of those meals, okay? And then, of course, we still have our trusty shake mix. You should be used to this by now. Mixing it up right. You want to throw some berries in there, some coconut milk, whatever. Even half a banana, not too much bananas. You can do that. So you can do that. You're gonna do that for the next 2 weeks, all the way up until day 21. All right. So we're gonna get in a full 3 weeks at this point, and you should really be after that first week, and you get through that first. It's really the first 5 days you get through that. You kind of climbing that hill, and you start to. You're just coasting. You're coming downhill, and you're like, I feel really good. You should be actually feeling pretty good. If you're on day 8 plus and you're watching this, you're starting to feel like, yeah, I get it. I see where we're going with this. Easier to get the weight to come off, so I really recommend if you were taking it easy with exercise during that first week, go ahead and start cranking up your cardio, start cranking up your strength training. If you've been thinking about it, do it. Your liver can handle it, and these supplements will help process that stuff through. Some other things that I recommend to help you detox during this, you can use massages, right? Go see a massage therapist. You can use infrared sauna if you have access to that, or just a regular sauna just to sweat that stuff out. It just helps your liver even more so. Just skin is a detox mechanism in your body. Use it. You might, of course, we talked about exercise. Crank that up. You can use Epsom salt baths. So those are, quarter cup of Epsom salts in a warm tub and soak in that for 20 minutes. No more. If you do more than that, you might feel a little kind of ugh. Only 20 minutes to help pull that junk out. Do those like every other day, 2 to 3 days a week max, I would say. You can use a neti pot if you have sinus congestion you're going to be able to get this stuff loosened up. Your liver is going to start processing some of the toxins that build up. It helps drain your sinuses, and the neti pot can work even more effectively with that stuff loosened up. So neti pot it if you need to. We, of course, in our office, we have detox foot baths. For those of you who don't know what that is, on the last link that was sent to you, there's a lot of resources. One of those is just a video talking about the detox foot baths, where you literally just sit with your feet in a warm bucket of water, and there's this copper array that's put there. It runs an electric current through that water. It helps pull and attract these metals, these toxins that are in your body out through the pores in your feet. It interacts with the array, and you get this just like horrific change in color of the water. It becomes brown, green, orange, black, curdled, looks like cottage cheese on the water, depends on what you're detoxing. Works great. And I recommend you wait till that second part of the detox plan to do that, but contact our office. Our number is up here. If you didn't know it from the first video, 910-444-9438. You can call us, or you can just message us at info@Wilmington Functional Medicine if you're interested about doing that. And then, of course, the last thing you can do is called dry brushing. That's something that my wife does. I've never done it in my life. She says it works. Cool. So if you do dry brushing, or if you're thinking about doing it, now's a good time to do that too. It's just supposed to detox the skin. That's something that you can do as well. So that's enough about day 8 through day 21. Again, make sure you use your shopping list, front and back, to help you. Your list of how to move into that second stage is in there too, if you need to read through that. And then we're going to talk about on the last video, the next video, we're going to talk about what you need to do post cleanse to keep this going. Okay, you've done well so far. Push through, get to day 21, and then we'll talk about what needs to happen afterwards. All right, see you there.